Fernando Alonso returned to the spotlight under the Marina Bay lights. After weeks of struggling in the midfield, the Spaniard topped FP1 and finished 4th in FP2, while Lance Stroll secured 6th place. Friday night in Singapore felt like a turning point for Aston Martin, a sign that hope was alive again. Yet behind the excitement, the team remained cautious. Aston Martin arrived in Singapore with a clear strategy. They knew this street circuit's characteristics differed greatly from the high-speed tracks that had exposed the weaknesses of their AMR25. And finally, the results reflected that understanding. The car, which had recently struggled to even reach the points, suddenly looked confident against the front runners. "I think the characteristics of this circuit suit our car better," said Andy Cowell, the team's new principal, who was already leaving his mark. "We suffer more on high-speed tracks, like Baku for example, that long, fast Sector 3 with lots of downforce, the car gets pushed down, and you have to lift it a bit to avoid bottoming out. But then, in Sectors 1 and 2, you have the car higher than you'd like. Here, it's a bit similar to Baku, but without that third sector." Cowell's words revealed just how specific Aston Martin's advantage is. Singapore, with its narrow layout, sharp corners, and high traction demands, is the perfect laboratory for a car that relies on strong mechanical grip and low tire degradation, two things the team had been missing for several races. Still, despite the promising pace and free practice, Cowell refused to let emotions take over. "We had a mixed FP1. You want both your cars close together and up front, so we still have a lot of work to do to investigate Lance's setup, and we did a very detailed direct comparison," he explained. He also highlighted a unique tire approach. "Our tire choices were a bit different from the others. We were the only ones using the medium tire early in the session, and as you know, you can't bet on FP1 results. There are no points on Friday." Caution, then, remains the word of the weekend. Aston Martin knows better than anyone that Singapore is one of the most demanding circuits on the calendar. Tiny changes in temperature or track conditions can turn everything upside down. But for the Silverstone team, there's a renewed sense of belief that the AMR25 isn't a failed car, just one that hadn't yet found its home. Cowell stressed how quickly adaptation matters. "There are many competing systems. We all came here, the asphalt has been resurfaced, both drivers commented that it's smoother, there's great traction, and you have to react to that. Also, as this is a night race, FP1 isn't a representative session, so you have to adapt quickly. The same applies to the next races," he said calmly but with quiet confidence. For Aston Martin, their strong start in Singapore isn't just a technical recovery, it's a vital psychological and financial opportunity. The fight for 5th in the Constructors' Championship has grown more complicated after Carlos Sainz's podium for Williams in the last race. Aston Martin currently sits 7th with 62 points, behind Racing Bulls, 72, and Williams, 101, while Sauber lurks close behind on 55. The pressure is intense. For a team that was battling for podiums just a year ago, merely finishing in the top 6 has become a small victory. Yet in Marina Bay, the atmosphere feels different, livelier, more hopeful. Fernando Alonso seemed energized after FP2, his eyes reflecting a confidence long absent. On a track that punishes every mistake and demands precision, Alonso knows that experience is his most powerful weapon. If Aston Martin truly finds rhythm here, Singapore could mark a decisive turning point. Not necessarily to fight for victory, but to prove that their ambitious project is still moving in the right direction. Aston Martin understands that real comebacks don't happen overnight. But under the shimmering lights of Marina Bay, the green cars look alive again, calm,